What's going on, guys? Nick here, and this channel is dedicated to teaching you how to take the SAT and ACT and improve your college admissions outcomes. Now, today we have a college admissions related video. We're going to discuss interviews, how to conduct an interview well, how to handle yourself, and how to ask the right questions of the interviewer so you can have them put in a good word for you for your college application. So let's get into it. If you're borderline on a school, if you feel like, I'm pretty close to getting in and I just want to put that cherry on the top, an interview can be a really great way for you to connect with someone at the school, give you that extra edge. Now, most people say, and this is a word on the street, inside information, the interview can't really hurt you that much. Unless, of course, you go off the handle and say some crazy stuff. If you just, are a little bit nervous and you maybe don't have the best interviewing skills, it's probably not going to hurt you that much. But what you can do is you can help yourself with great interviewing skills and the right questions to ask the interviewer. Now, let's talk a little bit about who the interviewers are. For the most part, most interviews are conducted by alumni who just sign up to do this, like something they want to do. Some of the people that have worked here in the past are interviewers for their colleges, and they really like doing it. It's a way for them to stay connected with the school. It's a way for them to connect with you guys, and it's a way for them to, help out their college, evaluate candidates. Now, because the person is an alumni, they're going to know everything about the school. They're going to have, lived there basically for several years. So you're going to have to come with knowledge of the college and a lot of great questions, or else they're not going to be impressed. So you want to make sure the first thing you do is to really educate yourself on the school, the vibes, the campus, the lifestyle, the education, the courses, so on and so forth. Like, you want to make sure you really understand the school as much as you can under the circumstances. Now, when you get to the actual interview, there's certain things you want to touch on, and I want to get into a bunch of questions that you can ask to really improve your outcome. So the first one would be, I think you want to ask some questions about the education. What majors are popular at the school? What can I major in to be successful? And what steps can I take to find the right major for me? You could say something like, my favorite school subject is biology. What major would you suggest at the college in order to enhance my skills? Or, I really like finance and investing. Besides finance, what courses can I take to improve my skills in that area? Those questions would show that you're informed, that you're interested in something, and that you're really thinking about what kind of college student you will be and become. Now, before you ask that, you probably should do some research on the programs at the college so you don't ask about a program that they don't have. Like, oh, I'd really like to do marine biology. What programs do you have for that? Oh, well, we have no marine biology major. That's not going to go over well. You show that you didn't really research the school, so make sure you look into it before you ask. Now, you should also ask, are there different requirements for different majors in terms of admissions? Different schools often have different requirements. So, for example, sometimes if a school has a really great finance program, the SAT, ACT scores and the GPA requirements for that program might be a little bit higher. That's a great question to ask somebody at an interview, because that shows that you're really thinking about what programs you want to go for and also how you're going to get in. So you're being realistic about your approach to the school, and you're not being assumptive that you're automatically going to be accepted. You don't know yet, so you want to make sure that you're trying to act like you want to be accepted and you actively are trying to do everything you can to get yourself in. Now, another great question you could ask is, what programs does your school offer that make it unique? Now, you know a lot about the majors and the basic programs, but maybe there's some added things that you don't know about or haven't seen that this person themselves encountered and participated in that really helped them through their journey and helped them enhance themselves as a student and as an applicant to jobs in the future. So that's a great question that shows a lot of interest, and that's what we're trying to achieve here. I would also ask this person about clubs and sports. Like, are there intramural sports? Are there any clubs that you've been involved in? What can I learn from this person about those clubs? And I would have a conversation with them, ask them about what they contributed to. Being that they're now an interviewer for the college, they're probably going to know a lot about the clubs, and they probably were involved in college, you would imagine. So they may have some great information for you about things that you can get involved in that could really be interesting and exciting for you. The next thing I would ask, and one of the most important questions, would really be, what's the culture like at the school? Are the students very competitive? Are people really relaxed and laid back? What's the vibes? How do the students act on a day-to-day basis? What do they do in their off time? How much studying do people engage in? Like, you just want to know what the lifestyle is going to be like. And that's a really important and mature question, I think, to ask someone, because it gives you an idea of what the next 4 or more years of your life will be like. It enables you to do some level of self-reflection after the fact and say to yourself, well, based on what this person is saying, do I really feel like I fit in with this school? Is this something that I want to do or I want to engage in? If the person describes a fraternity, sorority based atmosphere, if you're interested in that, you may not want to attend that school. So it's really something that's very important to think about. Okay, on a similar token, you want to ask what students do for fun. So beyond just obviously education, which is the focus of most of your questions, you'd want to ask about some extracurricular activities and other things that you can engage in. A lot of schools have really great programs and exciting things you can do outside of the classroom or outside of the educational atmosphere. Some schools are much better at that than others. Like, for example, a local college that has a lot of commuters might have less activities than a campus-based college where everyone's living there. So that's definitely something to think about and ask about. The next thing I would ask would be, what kind of resources are there for the support of the students? Freshman year can be tough for a lot of people. Let's just be frank. It's a total transition from living at home or living with other people that are not of your age, and you're totally switching that over to the dorm lifestyle and the campus lifestyle. And that's a big transition, and it's something that's tough for a lot of people. Many people really enjoy it. Others find it difficult. So what resources are there for mental health and, health in general and other support services at the school that you can engage in to make sure you have a great experience if you need someone to talk to or something's going on in your life? Now, to piggyback on that, the next thing you should ask is what academic support services are there? College classes are a step up from high school. So a lot of students might want to seek extra help to make sure they keep their grades up and they want to perform well. That's actually a great question to ask, because that's going to show that you're a dedicated student and you really care about your performance in school, that you're willing to seek extra help, tutoring, so on and so forth at the campus to make sure that you're doing what you need to do. So I would say that's another really great question, as long as you phrase that in the positive, that you want to make sure to keep your GPA up. I think that would really be appreciated. Now, finally, and one of the most important points, you want to ask about internships, research opportunities, and job employment. What are the things that you can get involved in? Say, get an internship at a local company, get research opportunities with some of the famous professors or some of the really big name professors at the school to build your resume. What are the job prospects for students coming out of your school after college, and how can they really improve their performance in that? All right, guys, so if you can ask all those questions and keep those things in mind when you're doing your interview, focus on your ability to adapt, focus on your interest in education, and focus on your interest in getting involved in the school, you will be successful in the interview. Now, drop a comment below. Let me know what other questions you would ask a college interviewer, and I'll grade your questions. I'll comment back and let you know if I think those are good or not. Now let's go.